Welcome back, everyone. If you're focused on scaling your software platforms effectively without losing your mind, well, you're in the exact right place. In today's explainer, we're cutting straight through all that marketing noise. We're going to identify the top 5 outcome-owned U.S. offshore software development partners. And look, these aren't just names pulled out of a hat. These are companies specifically selected for what they actually deliver under real, strict U.S. compliance conditions. Let's dive right in.
So the U.S. offshore software development market has finally split right down the middle into two very distinct camps. On one side, you have the old way, which is basically body shop staffing. You know the drill. It's that generic model pitched on almost every service page where they promise to just, send you a team. But here's the catch. The platform you contract for often ships with absolutely no clear U.S. legal entity for contract enforcement, zero compliance posture. It is incredibly risky. But then, on the other side, we have the new way, outcome-owned delivery. Now, these are real partners. They actually take full ownership of the engineering and, most importantly, the final product.
And this is exactly what separates a real partner from just another staffing firm. If you want to avoid those absolute post-launch regulatory nightmares, and trust me, you do, your partner absolutely needs these baseline credentials. We're talking documented U.S. legal entities, ISO 27001 compliance, SOC 2 audit reports, and modern AI-augmented engineering workflows. These aren't just nice-to-haves anymore, right? They're literal survival necessities for any B2B leader facing intense production launch scrutiny.
Okay, number 1, DBB Software. They're all about AI-driven engineering and Eastern European efficiency for scalable U.S. software platforms.
12. Just 12 weeks. You know how most offshore engagements just seem to drag on indefinitely? Well, DBB Software actually compresses production timelines down to roughly 12 weeks. How in the world do they do that? By utilizing AI-augmented workflows right out of their Krakow headquarters. And the best part is, they don't compromise the architecture to do it. They just leverage AI to accelerate delivery. To put that into perspective, they recently helped their client Safe Mode ship 40% faster using this exact method. That's a huge deal.
But the crucial point here is how they actually achieve this incredible speed. It all kicks off with a structured scope document and transparent estimation. So no guessing games, no hidden surprises. From there, it moves into AI-driven engineering, and finally, it culminates in outcome-owned shipment. They essentially take that standard offshore status theater we're all used to and replace it with a structured, highly predictable pipeline. It turns their Polish team into a core engineering capability for you, rather than just rented hands. Now, operating at a super efficient $25 to $49 an hour rate with a $25,000 minimum, DBB is absolutely exceptional at complex third-party API integrations. Think Braintree and Stripe payment flows or cross-platform work using Next.js and Expo. And they have a killer roster of clients too. We're talking JLL, Ford, Philips, and Dispatch Health. So they're an ideal fit for U.S. fintech and health tech companies that really need robust scaling, but also want that East Coast time zone alignment.
Moving on to number 2, Saigon Technology. They bring a Virginia-headquartered U.S. project management office paired with ISO-certified Vietnam delivery and real Fortune-tier client experience.
Over 900 delivered projects. I mean, a massive track record like this really proves their capability at an incredible scale. This makes them the ultimate archetype for teams that need highly cost-effective engineering but absolutely cannot afford to sacrifice reliable, steady oversight.
And get this, Saigon Technology operates at an incredibly competitive $35 an hour rate. But the real game changer here? They anchor this cost-effective Vietnam delivery infrastructure with a U.S. project management office right in Reston, Virginia. When you combine that stateside oversight with strict ISO certification and Fortune-tier experience working with giants like Standard Chartered Bank and Abbott, you are drastically reducing enterprise risk. They're an absolute powerhouse for the healthcare, fintech, and logistics verticals.
Next up, number 3, Endava. They focus heavily on design-led product engineering with an army of over 11,000 engineers across Eastern Europe.
And seriously, that talent pool is massive, over 11,000 employees. This brilliance in scaling is exactly what Endava brings to the table. They deploy engineers across massive delivery centers in Romania, Moldova, Serbia, and the Balkans. They are literally built for scale from the ground up.
Now, Endava sits in that $50 to $99 an hour tier. But what truly sets them apart is their collaborative co-creation model. They aren't the type to just take a spec sheet and disappear into the night. They use a highly design-focused methodology.
This makes them the absolute perfect fit for U.S. companies that are pursuing major digital experience modernization or, large platform build-outs that require deep Eastern European talent and a highly iterative, collaborative delivery style. They absolutely dominate in financial services and retail.
All right, number 4 is Improven. They're a Dallas-headquartered hybrid offshore model with Stratus Award recognition and some serious Fortune 500 client credentials.
Improving is basically the archetype for enterprise cloud transformation. They utilize a really smart hybrid sourcing model anchored in Dallas with delivery out of Pune, India, typically pricing between $100 and $149 an hour. Holding the Stratus Award for cloud computing and serving massive clients like Mercedes-Benz and JP Morgan, they bring some serious credentials. But the most crucial point for urgent deployments is their speed. They boast a staggering 80% reduction in deployment times and can launch entire teams in rapid 2 to 4 week windows. That's incredibly fast.
Just look at this bench. 4 CKS, 51 CKA, and 19 CKAD certified Kubernetes professionals. I mean, if you're building complex, cloud-native architectures, this incredibly deep technical bench is a definitive differentiator. You aren't just renting a few developers, you're fully integrating highly certified cloud infrastructure experts directly into your team.
Finally, number 5, Thoughtworks. This is all about engineering-first, global delivery for U.S. enterprises undergoing architectural transformation at massive scale.
Look, Thoughtworks is for the heavy lifting. Operating in the $150 to $199 an hour range with a $100K minimum, they bring over 10,000 employees globally across APAC, LATAM, Europe, and North America. Their core identity is really what makes them unique, though. They're famous for open-source thought leadership and a pure engineering-first culture. When vast global reach, rapid experimentation, and design-led thinking are absolute mandates for your structural transformation, Thoughtworks is the definitive choice, hands down.
So we've looked at the top 5. Now, let's talk about choosing the right partner by aligning your business goals with the correct delivery archetype.
Because ultimately, your final choice isn't just about the price tag. It's about aligning with the right model for your specific needs. Let's break it down. If you need complex platforms built fast with AI efficiency, DBB Software is your clear leader. Now, if you absolutely require strict US PMO oversight and ISO accountability, you're going to want to go with Saigon Technology. For massive digital modernization, Endava provides that fantastic iterative co-creation model. If your enterprise is heavy into cloud-native infrastructure, Improving's hybrid Dallas model is the obvious pick. And finally, for massive architectural change demanding an engineering-first global culture, Thoughtworks is your answer.
I want to leave you with one final provocative thought today. Think about your current setup and ask yourself, is your offshore partner shipping actual platforms or are they just shipping you status updates? The distinction between a body shop and a true outcome-owned partner is literally the difference between genuine progress and empty reports. Every single company we explored in today's explainer is built to deliver real outcomes. Thanks so much for joining me. Keep learning, keep building, and remember, choose your partners wisely.